people in this conference, and they're at their old schools, and those guys work. They're everything they were hyped up to be, and I love to work with those guys every way. And then you have Braun, who, was an all-conference guy in this league 2 years ago, and he's as smart as they come when it comes to O-linemen, and he helps me out if I need help on certain fronts, and then maybe mess with me. I'm like, all right, well, you learn this side, I'll learn this side, then we can do it together. So having guys around you like that, taking bits and pieces from their game and adding it to yours is really important. I think that helps the overall line.
And kind of touch on the big blue wall mentality. Obviously, not a lot of programs. The O-line, if you don't hear your name, that might be good. But here in Kentucky, take pride in the O-line, the big blue wall mentality with the late Coach Sharman. So how are you teaching these new guys? Hey, like the O-line is very serious here. Kentucky fans know the O-line, and how do you kind of teach that to the guys coming up, and like you said, as your senior, so who will carry on the legacy once you move on.
Yeah, I think just like instilling in those younger guys what it needs to look like, because everybody knows it hasn't at times. So getting back to that brick by brick mentality, that's where that big blue wall comes from. It stems from a brick by brick mentality, which means basically taking it day by day. So that's really what we're doing right now. Day 3 of fall camp today, put on the pad, so that's another brick to the wall. We have a bad practice, that brick's not going to the wall. So for us, it's an emphasis of placing a brick on the wall every day. And eventually you look up at the end of the 20 days of camp, 20 days of practice, and you're like, we have a wall now, we can go into the season. So I think just showing those guys, leading by example, and just leaving the room better than we found it is a big emphasis for the seniors in that room.
We asked Cutter this, another local guy, for all the new guys coming who've never been here, what's like the go-to spot you take all the new guys who've never been here to kind of show them what Lexington's about?
For sure, Drake's for sure.
The same thing.
That's what Cutter said.
Yeah, Drake's is the spot.
Why Drake's?
I just think they got a little bit of everything. You order off Malone's menu. It's not like a super nice, like you can go to Malone's, it's more dress up, but you can go in there in shorts and a t-shirt, not feel out of place, and then also order a steak, lobster, whatever you want, or you can order some wings. I'm a sriracha wings guy, so that's my thing.
Do you have NIL with Drake?
No, not right now.
Working on it?
No, I've known Bruce Drake for a long time, and he's a family friend, so
okay.
I just, and then obviously the food's the best to me, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, man. What's the main thing that you're looking forward to? Is it the games? Is it the experience being with your brothers? Is it the actual competition, or is it the other stuff?
I think the feeling that you get when you win a game, like an away game or a home game, like when you get on the plane all together, or you get in the locker room all together afterwards, and you're like, man, like we did it, like we did what we said we were gonna do. There's no feeling in the world like that. I think that's why, if you ask everybody out here, that's probably gonna be one of the reasons they play this game, is that feeling's unmatched. You can't really find it anywhere else. So I'm excited for that feeling.
You said that you've had 3 practices?
Yeah, today will be our 3rd.
What have you seen out of the first 2?
I was telling them earlier, like the receivers have just been, we get bored in the O-line room, we got like a big break so the coaches can watch practice, so we'll just throw on, wide out and DBs. Those guys are battling every day. Like, I'm super confident in those rooms after these first 2 days, and the way, Fred and J-Mac and Hardley go about their business, Troy, just watching those guys ball against JQ and D-Wall, like J Love and Ty, those guys are just battling every day. So watching that motivates us to do the same.
Now, you were talking a little bit earlier about, he asked you a question about how being up front, it all starts there. Talk a little bit about the importance of the role that you play on this team.
Yeah, I think, we're guys that a lot of people, if you're not like into football, you're not even going to know what we do. But, Coach Hamden has a saying that every play starts up front. You can't get the ball out if you don't block up front. The run's not getting past the line of scrimmage, you don't block up front. And that even extends to the receivers on run plays. Like, those guys have to block too. They got to do it both. So I think just the importance of, one, I think, the O-line kind of sets the attitude for an offense. You got a mean O-line, you're going to have a mean offense, which is what you want. And then in regards to, obviously, every play starts with the center snapping the ball, tackles, guards, and centers protecting the quarterback so he can make the throw that everybody, loves to see. The deep downfield ball, touchdown, or even the 2-yard run, it's the same thing. It all starts up there.
Did you always play this position?
No, so all through when I was younger, I played running back, and then my freshman year, I played wide receiver. and I switched halfway through to DN. And then when I transferred from LCA, they wanted me to play tight end, and I was like, I want to play O-line. Like, I'm tired of dealing with I was gaining weight. I was like, I just want to keep gaining weight. And then Coach Schlarman, I went to UK camp, and Coach Schlarman was like, if you want to play at this level in college, play O-line. So I was like, that's all I need to hear. Switched to O-line, and then I got an offer from Kentucky the year after. So,
when did you know that this was the right fit for you, and that, I'm going to ride this out?
I think when I first talked to Coach Stoops. Are you talking about like out of high school?
Well, just even after you came here.
Yeah, I think the more I saw. So my freshman year was the Wandell, the Citrus Bowl year with Wandell, Levis's first year, and just coming into that locker room and seeing, what it can look like here with guys that are all like-minded, that go about their business the right way, is like, and the way the crowd was that year, the way the fans were excited, it's like I don't think you can get, like, for me, it's like you can't get any better than this. Being from here, seeing how excited everyone around the program was in the program, like we want to get back to that feeling. We want to have people excited, not disappointed in what we're doing. So, just chasing that, and trying to make Kentucky as proud as possible.
Are you able to turn the page on last season without and are you able to play this season, I guess, without looking backwards?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think there's a big emphasis that the coaches put on us to, step forward, step away from last season. Everybody knows what it was. It wasn't up to the standard, but you don't have a lot of time to kind of harp on those things. You got to flush those things and move forward, or you're going to stay there. So I think that was a big emphasis, and we've all kind of flushed that. It's still in the back of all of our minds just for the motivation piece of it, but in terms of, you can't change what happened last year. You can only control what happens this year. So I think that's a big focus for us.
Appreciate you, man.